Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy. Today's day 291 of reading. Today I'm reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Let's get started. Please, I'm begging you, TikTok. Why? Please, just give me views. Anyways, open the book. We are on page 461. Let's go. Harry stretched out his arms, lifted the egg in his wet hands, and opened it. The wailing, screeching sound filled the bathroom, echoing and reverberating off the marble walls. But it sounded just as incomprehensible as ever, as if not more so with all the echoes. He snapped it shut again, worried that the sound would attract Filch, wondering whether that hadn't been Cedric's plan, and then making him jump so badly that he dropped the egg, which clattered away across the bathroom floor. Someone spoke. "I'd try putting it in the water if I were you." Harry had swallowed a considerable amount of bubbles in shock. He stood up sputtering and saw the ghost of a very glum-looking girl sitting cross-legged on top of one of the taps. It was moaning Myrtle, who was usually to be heard sobbing in the S-band of a toilet 3 floors below. "Myrtle!" Harry said in outrage. I'm not wearing anything." The foam was so dense that this hardly mattered, but he had a nasty feeling that Myrtle had been spying on him from out one of the taps ever since he had arrived. "I closed my eyes when you got in," he said, blinking at him through her thick spectacles. "You haven't been to see me for ages." "Yeah, well," said Harry, bending his knee slightly, just to make absolutely sure Myrtle couldn't see anything but his head. "I'm not supposed to come into your bathroom, am I? It's a girl's one." "You didn't used to care," said Myrtle miserably. "You used to be in there all the time." This was true, though, only because Harry, Ron, and Hermione had found Myrtle's out-of-order toilets a convenient place to brew Polyjuice potion in secret, a forbidden potion that had turned him and Ron into living replicas of Crabbe and Goyle for an hour, so that they could sneak into Slytherin common room. "I got told off for going in there," said Harry, which was half true. Percy had once caught him coming out of Myrtle's bathroom. "I thought I'd better not come back after that." "Oh, I see," said Myrtle, picking out a spot on her chin in a morose sort of way. "Well, anyway, I'd try the egg in the water. That's what Cedric Diggory did." "Have you been spying on him too?" said Harry indignantly. "What do? Sneak up here in the evenings to watch the prefects take baths?" "Sometimes," said Myrtle. Rather slyly. "But I've never come out to speak to anyone before." "I'm honored," said Harry darkly. "You keep your eyes shut." He made sure Myrtle had her glasses well covered before hoisting himself out of the bath, wrapping the towel firmly around his waist, and going to retrieve the egg. Once he was back in the water, Myrtle peered through her fingers and said, "Go on then, open it underwater." Harry lowered the egg beneath the foamy surface and opened it, and this time it did not wail. A gurgling song was coming out of it, a song whose words he couldn't distinguish through the water. "You need to put your head under too," said Myrtle, who seemed to be thoroughly enjoying bossing him around. "Go on." Harry took a great breath and slid under the surface, and now, sitting at the marble bottom of the bubble-filled bath, he heard a chorus of eerie voices singing to him from the open egg in his hands. "Come seek us where our voices sound. We cannot sing above the ground. And while you're searching, ponder this. We've taken what you'll sorely miss. An hour long you'll have to look to recover what we took. But past an hour, the prospect's black. Too late, it's gone, it won't come back." Please take the word "you'll sorely miss" seriously. And also connect it with the word Weasley. Harry let himself float back upward and broke the bubbly surface, shaking his hair out of his eyes. "Hear it?" said Myrtle. "Yeah, come seek us where our voices sound, and if I need persuading—" "Hang on, I need to listen again." He sank back beneath the water. It took 3 more underwater renditions of the egg song before Harry had it memorized. Then he trod water for a while, thinking hard, while Myrtle said and watched him. "I've got to go and look for people who can't use their voices above the ground," he said slowly. Who could that be? Slow, aren't you?" He had never seen Moaning Myrtle so cheerful, apart from the day when a dose of polyjuice potion had given Hermione the hairy face and tail of a cat. Harry stared around the bathroom, thinking, if the voices could only be heard underwater, then it made sense for them to be belonging to underwater creatures. He ran this theory past Myrtle, who smirked at him. "Well, that's what Diggory thought," she said. He lay there talking to himself for ages about it. Ages and ages. Nearly all the bubbles had gone. Underwater. Harry said slowly. "Myrtle, what lives in the lake apart from the giant squid?" "Oh, all sorts," she said. "I sometimes go down there, sometimes don't have a choice. If someone flushes my toilet when I'm not expecting it." Trying not to think about Moaning Myrtle zooming down a pipe to the lake with the contents of a toilet, Harry said, "Well, does anything in there have a human voice?" "Hang on." Harry's eyes had fallen on the picture of a snoozing mermaid on the wall. "Myrtle, there are mer people in there, are they?" "Ooh, very good," she said, her thick glasses twinkling. "It took Diggory much longer than that, and that was with her awake too." Myrtle jerked her head toward the mermaid with an expression of great dislike on her glum face, giggling and showing off, and flashing her fins. "That's it, isn't it?" said Harry excitedly. "The second task is to go and find the mer people in the lake, and..." He suddenly realized what he was saying, and he felt the excitement drain out of him as though someone had just pulled a plug in his stomach. He wasn't a very good swimmer. He never had much practice. Dudley had had lessons in his youth, but Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon, no doubt hoping that Harry would drown one day, hadn't bothered to give him any. A couple of lengths of this bath were all very well, but that lake was very large and very deep, and mer people would surely live right at the bottom. "Myrtle," Harry said slowly, "how am I supposed to breathe?" At this, Myrtle's eyes filled with sudden tears again. "Tactless," she muttered, gulping and arose for a handkerchief. "What's tactless?" said Harry, bewildered. "Talking about breathing in front of me," she said shrilly, and her voice echoed loudly around the bathroom. "When I can't, when I haven't, not for ages." She buried her face in the handkerchief and sniffed loudly. Harry remembered how touchy Myrtle had always been about being dead, but none of the other girls he knew made such a fuss about it. "Sorry," he said impatiently. "I didn't mean. I just forgot." "Oh, yes, very easy to forget Myrtle's dead," said Myrtle, gulping, looking at him out of swollen eyes. "Nobody missed me even when I was alive. Took them hours and hours to find my body. I know. I was sitting there waiting for them." Olive Hornby came into the bathroom. "Are you in here again, sulking Myrtle?" she said, "because Professor Tippett asked me to look for you. And then she saw my body. Ooh, she didn't forget it until her dying day. I made sure of that. Following her around and reminded her. I did. I remember her at her brother's wedding." But Harry wasn't listening. He was thinking about the mer people song again. "We've taken what you'll sorely miss." That sounded as though they were going to steal something of his, something that he had to get back. What were they going to take? And then, of course, she went to the Ministry of Magic to stop me stalking her, so I had to come back here and live in my toilet. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today. Bye. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to read page 466. Yep, 466. Not bad at all. Peace out.